I guess we're recording.
We're recording.
The first podcast of
Punch Up.
Did you like that? I made that, actually.
Yeah,
and
you thought of that jingle for months.
I did, actually, and I recorded it, and it sounds great. Thanks.
Can you play it one more time for us really quick?
Punch Up.
I love when you push that button.
It's funny because I do have... See, they don't know, but you know that that's not in right now because editing exists. It's not movie magic, it's radio magic. And it's going to sound great, and you're going to love it. Thanks so much. This is Punch Up, where we make good jokes hit harder, hopefully. I don't know. I am here, and who am I? My name is Ren.
Hi, I'm here. Who am I? I'm Jean Valjean. No, I'm Cara Leoni.
Cara Leoni, my best friend.
Trying to put stuff down, which is actually very ADHD.
Trying to put a bong down, no less. Wow, we are not even a minute and 15 seconds into this podcast, and now you know us well. Now we're both queer.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of people in the comedy world say, oh, you gotta you just have to punch up. You can never punch down. Like, you shouldn't punch down. You should always punch up. And like, I even say those things, but like, what the fuck does that actually mean? And I don't think that I'm necessarily qualified to answer that. So I think that I wanted to make a podcast asking other people and seeing what that's like.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna have their own definition, and that itself will help evolve the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cool. So I guess kind of hopping into what the agenda. I know, right? Cara Leoni, tell me about yourself.
Very good, very breathy. Myself, I am Italian, grew up in Chicago, moved out here to Colorado, live in Boulder. That's a trek. Yeah, I did other stuff between that, but it's been a long time. I teach. That's how I make a little bit of money.
A little bit of money.
Yep. And
you're good at it.
I am okay at my job, and I do comedy, which makes even less.
That's right.
It fulfills me.
And I mean,
so.
And you're like really good at that, actually. So.
Thank you. It's really fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe I didn't even make that list. You're also my best friend.
Wait, there was a list? You said tell me about
my dearest Punchkin. Oh my god.
Oh no. 'Tis the season to be Punchkin.
It is Punchkin season.
I'm a little Punchkin.
Right.
Yeah. I've got girlfriends. I've got
yeah. I got girlfriends. Yeah.
I got a friend.
I'm swimming I'm drowning in the friendship.
That's right. Drowning in the friendship.
I'm just smothered in friendship.
Well, these people are so well listening.
You're just really friendly.
That's right. Yes. Very friendly.
I smile.
Sometimes. You gotta earn it.
You smile for me. Yay.
I would like for the record everyone to know that Ren is currently drinking a tropical can that just says real ginger ale.
Okay, it's Reed's all natural.
No, it's REAL, real ginger ale. The brand is Reed's. Let it be corrected that the brand is Reed's. But it's got 2 palm trees.
You know what it also is? Crisp. Classic. Clean.
Thank God.
Thank God. You know what I like? Can I get a dirty ginger ale? Can I get a dirty ginger ale on the can?
I just didn't know that ginger grew on palm trees. That's
Does
there's
it?
no
No, it grows in the ground. No, it's a root, right?
Well, yeah, but okay. Anyway, everyone look up Reeds and look up the slander that is their art on this can. Edited out.
Are you edited? No. Are you working on any jokes right now?
Yeah, I'm always, I feel like, working on jokes, and I've been doing this thing recently where I'm looking back at jokes that I started to get rid of or take out of sets because they weren't punchy enough, and I'm reworking them into ways that I like better.
Awesome. Honing.
Yeah,
love that.
So less new content, but like strengthening content. which feels really good. I want to feel like confident in every single bit that I do on stage.
Trying to take kind of those like C jokes to B jokes and B jokes to A jokes.
Absolutely. I want to be excited, as excited as I am like about my closer. I want to be that level for every joke, you know.
I love that.
Yeah. Do you do that? Is that like
I'm kind of doing that. I'm trying to figure out like what is the pipeline of like doing stuff, because I like I
what
think
is
that
the
I'm
pipeline of doing stuff?
No, it's like what is like, you know what I mean? It's like I think that I need like kind of two buckets, if that makes sense, which is like kind of the purely new content that I believe enough in to try to make something of it and try it out, because if I'm not experimenting when I'm like doing comedy, then I like hit walls pretty quick. And so, and I have like a good you know, like abundance of kind of that newer content, and then I have like, you know, I'm like glad for it, but now I'm like fuck, because it's like I have like a lot of kind of BC content, and I don't know how to necessarily like punch those up to be better, you know, in outside of the ways that I'm just kind of like, can I make it more physical? Am I getting to like the laugh line quicker, or do I need to build in another joke here to make it kind of a more laughs per minute? So I think that like I'm finally trying to kind of like differentiate those two practices of like truly testing the prototype, and then like of like new material, and then actually drafting a new prototype of the okay material.
Right. Yeah. You're not just looking back, also looking forward.
Right. And how are you doing that when you want to reserve the good stuff for the showcase and not do that much new content? But then, you know, if you're going out and doing mics, like you're getting maybe 5 minutes of like, okay, here, try this out, and also not get necessarily a great like audience response.
Yeah, and anything that requires a callback is almost impossible to test at a mic. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, well, I really want to try this callback, but I need to like get through this joke and this joke.
I feel like you really need like 7. I mean, I have a callback and a joke that's only 3 minutes long, and that's nice. But that's like it's hard, because it's like that's like the whole thing. You know, it's kind of like a couple in punches and then those two, and like
yes.
I think that you really need like 6-7 minutes to do like a callback.
Yeah, some of my favorite headliners that I get to watch have callbacks throughout a set, like it like weaves in and out of a set, like I don't know, like Ivy on a building, right? It's like it's going in and out of what's going on, and I really appreciate that, and I like need to figure out how to practice that without totally doing the joke that I call back to. Additionally, kind of a separate vein question, but similar topic is, do you find, like you were saying, like you have a lot of B and C jokes? I feel that way too, but I didn't always consider them that way. And there were times where these jokes actually hit pretty well, and it's like they hit less, and I don't know if it's because the set I have built around them has gotten better, so they feel weaker, or if my energy towards the joke has changed, and that therefore makes it less funny. Like, I have a hard time determining.
Yeah, that's a really good... I am also experiencing that with a couple jokes that used to be really heavy hitters, and I can't tell if it's because the landscape around them has gone up, or if the energy in that one has gone down, right? 100%. And so, yeah, I'm super with you there. I think that, like... I read something recently, and I'm gonna have to dig it up because this is like worthwhile for, I think, this exact content, but it was basically saying like, okay, you know, if a joke doesn't hit, you know, as hard as it used to, like chances are is that you're performing it, you know, from a different angle, which so sometimes like people will be like, I'm single, and they're like genuinely miserable, and they're like, you know, you can like feel that in a way, not to say that, you know, we should method act, but like at the same, right, you know what I mean, they're like really pushing like a, you know, fuck this, I'm single, they have a joke around it, they're gonna, you know, and then like they like actually get in a relationship, and they still run that joke because it's probably a witty joke about, you know what I mean, being single, but they have shifted, so they're not running it miserable because they're not running their set as a kind of miser.
Yeah.
They're running their set with like a different level of energy or optimism or whatever. So I think that like it's like piece 1, we've shifted kind of the angle. Piece 2, the energy, wherein just your emphasis, the volume, the like excitedness about a new joke goes down. And so I think there's like both like kind of the angle of it, the intensity of it, the energy behind it. I think that those are like the 2 big ones. And there was like one other that was like, how do you get back to that place? And it was like, yeah, basically just saying, like, you know, like, try to kind of watch the old sets and see what's, like, missing. Sometimes I'm missing, like, a whole punch in it, which is like, oh, yeah, I forgot I made that joke.
Yeah, or, like, little comments actually are what made it good. Totally. I think that, like, that stands true, too, when, like, the winter comes and people's suicide jokes start to become too abundant.
Oh, my God,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And it's like, that's
everyone
funny
gets
in the
the
summer.
signs. Yeah.
Well, we all want to live.
Exactly.
Now...
Or, yeah, you're not suiting it to your audience, right?
Yeah.
Is that there's, like, you know, I have jokes that are going to land really well in, like, a dudely bar. Mm-hmm. But it's not, and even though it's a queer joke and it's, like, friendly to queer people, it's not going to land that well in a queer bar. And... because, like, the energy is different, you know,
yes,
and like the desire for a type of content is different.
Yeah.
I guess, like, when you are trying to punch up a joke because you're like, I'm talking about something risky or, you know, kind of maybe edgy, or, like, even if it's not, right, you're just, like, kind of having your own take on it. Like, do you like, what does that, like, kind of mean to you when you're like, oh, I need to, like, punch this up, or they should punch this up? Like, is it actually, like, just kind of an ethics thing, or, like, do you know what I mean? Like, what is that, like?
Yeah. The whole time you were telling that question, I didn't know exactly what the end piece was going to be. No, it's good. It's like, okay, so repeat it.
Okay, so, like, if you're like, I need to punch this up, like, what is that, like, actually?
What's the reason that I'm feeling?
Yeah, you know, like, is it, because I think that I kind of had the sole understanding of, you know, don't punch down, meaning don't, like, make jokes at the expense of marginalized people.
Yes, totally.
Right?
Also what I have understood.
But I think that it's actually a little bit broader than that, too. And I'm trying to, like, figure that out for myself. So, like, right, is there a joke that you've had to, like, punch up in your set, like, in the last year? Like,
yeah, there is. Like, you know, I there's a tightrope walk to be done when I'm talking about making jokes as a teacher, but then my job is working with kids with disabilities, which I frequently leave out on purpose because people find it less funny if it's about and it's not like these jokes are not like I'm talking about a kid calling me a motherfucking bitch. For whatever reason, it's a little less funny if I'm like, a kid with a disability did. They're like, well, that's it's funnier if it's just some, like, typical kid. I don't know. Anyway, so there's been jokes that I've had to punch up in ways where I'm like, okay, how do I phrase this so it's funny, it doesn't make anyone feel, like, bad or sad, because it's objectively hilarious that I got called a motherfucking bitch at work. That's funny no matter what. So how do I frame this? And so I find that most of my punch ups are around framing. This podcast is about punching up jokes for ethical reasons or punching up jokes to make any random joke stronger.
I think the latter, because, like, that's the umbrella that the other one fits in for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think that, like, you know, there is, like the phrase, like, you need to punch that up, just gets thrown around so much, like, willy-nilly.
Yes.
And so it's kind of, to me, I'm just kind of like, that's like just telling someone, like, well, just do better. And it's like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to learn. You know what I mean? Like, how do I do that? And so I want to kind of, like, poke around that question a little bit with people and see what people are doing to actually do that. Because, like, I want to hear what the process is for folks. It's not necessarily mine own. And I also, like, might have a narrow-minded perception of what punching up even means.
Totally. Yeah. This is so I'm newer, I think, than you in some ways, so it's interesting. As I was answering the question, I was like, now I'm questioning what punching up even means, because I feel like I punch everything up. It's like, how do I make this funnier? How do I make it broader for more audiences? How do I punch this up for this specific room of, like, this room I know I'm going to be at that's all female or whatever? Like, how can I make this work better for those environments? You talked about, like, the vibe in the room earlier too mattering. I haven't answered any of your questions.
No, this is good. It's literally like pilot pod. So
we're discovering
like,
what the pod is.
Exactly. We're in experience.
Yeah.
You know, a critical part of the process is being in experimental mode.
I think punching up something ethically is different, but is also, the word punching up is also used to say, like, make something better. Right. And in both cases, that's what you're going to end up doing. But it is different when it's for ethical reasons. Right. You need to, like, almost make sure you do the joke. Sammy Anser taught me this, right? Like, he was the one that said it. He was like, you need to do it in front of the people you're worried about doing it in front of on purpose. You need to make sure that joke works for them, because then you know it's going to be okay with anyone else.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's how I super felt that way about, I really don't try to do race content. So, like, I'll dig into this. I really don't try to do race content. I have a joke that I've been doing recently that is about a black dildo. And and, like, the kind of, it's, like, discussing the ethics around it, of, like, using that as, like, a white person, and also as, like, a trans person, because we haven't even covered that yet, but, like, wow. Oh,
You're
Pod,
trans?
you have so... Yo, I'm trans?
Wait a minute!
Wait a second. Just a couple of queers in a car talking about comedy. So, yeah, I got this joke about a black dildo, and I really was like, I have to... like, get this in front of as many, like, rooms of black folks as I can to get their feedback and to get their harshest feedback. And the feedback that I got was amazing, because, like, it was nice. Like, I don't think that anybody was ever super offended at that joke. White people tend to be a little uncomfortable about that joke, which is, you know, of course. I guess, you know, white people buttholes just be puckering, you know.
White people buttholes.
White people buttholes. Be puckering.
Did you guys know that Ren is a gay man?
They're learning so much about me and not enough about you.
A whole jingle about buttholes.
Butthole.
I mean, like, okay, never mind. Continue.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, that's just the whole point. Is, like, I think that it was, like, interesting. The things that I got feedback on for that joke were not necessarily, like, what I was expecting, which was, like, they were like, no, like, it's part of the character of building in that bit that you are, like, a conflicted kind of dorky white guy that's gonna make this extra piece really funny, because I'm just, like, using almost really, like, medical terms and, like,
yeah, like low-key acting a little bit,
you know.
Yeah, you're, like, laying into
your
nerdy white, definitely white
white dick self.
Adorable.
Anyway, that's, like,
they're, like, being nerdier.
that's, like, my recent, like, okay, how do I punch this up better?
That's awesome.
It was fun.
You're trying it in the right rooms.
It's been fun to do. It's one of my favorite jokes to tell. It's just a fun one to tell.
That's the other piece. One, hell yeah, I need to hear this in. Like I said,
oh my god, I can't believe you haven't heard this in a room. I've, like,
had
it for, like, 2 months, and I haven't done. Well, it's like, but now it's, like, show ready, so I'm not doing it at mics. Right, so it's like,
but the difference of, like, what makes comics laugh at a mic versus what works in a room is also a totally different thing, right? Like, I'll be like, this murdered at a mic, and then I'll be like, everyone in America hates this joke, like, except for comics in this one city. And so, like, there's another piece too where it's like, I need to know something's funny. Part of how I figure it out is by talking to my just, like, friends outside of the comedy community. I bring up that topic. I'll say a few of those riffs, but not as a joke, but, like, throughout a conversation, listen to what other people say and think about it. I feel like that's another way to take temperature on jokes.
no, I love that.
Yeah.
Jokey jokes. Yeah, there was a really good quote I, like, read recently, and I'm sorry for not remembering who said it, but how dare. It basically was like, don't play for the band. Which means, like, you're not playing for, like, the boys that work here, you know what I mean, necessarily, unless, like, you are. If it's, like, a dead bar, then, like, absolutely be playing for your bartenders, you know what I mean? Like,
less than 10
make
people,
it worth
you can play for them.
Make it worth the room's while, no matter what you have to do, right? And if the room is, like, your, you know, kind of essentially your coworkers or peers in that context, then that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But, like, if there's an audience there, then you play for them.
100%.
And not for, like, the homies, right? And I think that, like, doing that in a loud brewery bar kind of open mic space, that is, like, the real difference to me, is, like, when I see comics that are, like, making the rest of the room kind of shut up and laugh, and then the comics are paying attention to that. It's really interesting. And so I think that that's, like, kind of that lesson extended, where I'm like, why are they doing so well? It's because they're actually, like, playing for the patrons and not for the homies.
Yeah, and it wins the room over, for sure.
Yeah. What do you feel like is comic humor, like comedian style, like jokes, you know, rooms that like jokes that are just for comics?
I think it's the same
Like,
thing
what-
as
like,
like
what is
someone
it?
that likes to give tattoos ends up being covered in tattoos. You just like you like go a little too ham maybe. Like I think comedians do let each other know what is good, but generally speaking, comedians like if you're talking about something that's like really outrageous, they're generally gonna like that. You could have a really good joke on a topic that is maybe a little more frequented, and they're gonna just disregard it, even though
it's a good take or something.
Even though it's a good joke and it'll work really well in your set. Like they like being surprised. They like the shock and awe. So sometimes those really extreme jokes hit best in a comics room when they might not hit anywhere else. But I don't necessarily think that's true for all comics. I think comics love wordplay. And I think they love like little roasts and little jabs, and they love riffing. Like that's what comics like. They like
absolutely.
the moment being seized with something funny.
Something I've been doing to punch up my jokes is not necessarily even a joke. I don't fully understand the power of it, but like I like little rhymey words because that's how my brain do that. I don't know. I like little songs. I like little rhymes. I'm like just kind of always turning everything into a little jingle, and that conveniently works out in comedy. So like I think that's something I've been working on recently is like how can I add more alliteration or rhyme into a set, because suddenly people are really laughing at those punches. I have like a joke that like finishes in, well, I'm more thrifty than I am white guilty, and like it's barely a rhyme, but like the bounciness of it, and it's not even like necessarily a great like closer joke, but people really enjoy it because of the kind of bounce of the words together.
It's playful, singing,
and it's kind of lighthearted, and like it's, you know, it doesn't make a, I guess that's kind of why I like it too. Almost no one is at expense for a joke that is kind of saying nothing, just being rhymey.
Just being silly to be silly.
Just being silly.
You had a joke that you've since reconstructed, made totally different, but you used to have a joke that you would do in this tone that was like ba 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 ba. Yeah, okay. I'd say everything in my daily life to that rhythm, and it's because of that joke. So even though the joke has changed and become better, the singy song of what you did stays with me.
You're not the only person to have told me that, and so I'm like, I wonder how I can bring that back for like a different joke, because if you get an earworm, it's just an earworm. And like I just need like a 2-syllable and a 3-syllable word for that to like make that into a jokeable thing.
Yeah, no, I mean it's totally, I just love that so much, and I think there's something to it.
Thank you for saying that. I'll bring it back. I like that one too.
Yeah, you can really put anything to that jingle. It'd be good.
Okay, so I think that in actual practice of trying to punch up a joke, we're going to try to punch up a joke.
What joke?
I'm debating pulling out my
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I don't even know what it is. I haven't seen it. Let the record show. He's just laughing at his
Oh
phone.
no! I like
Maniacally.
pulled up my like stand-up notes, like, and the most recent one just says orange cat equal orange flag.
What in the goddamn
Like
world?
red flag, like they're a red flag, like orange cats are a red flag. Because you know how like let me explain the joke. You know how you know how
Very
yeah,
good. Good
yes,
start.
yes. You know how I feel like it's like that was like totally a thing growing up. It's like there's like the orange tabby cat that goes around and is like trying to like get all your like house cats while they're in heat, and it's like he's like the town tabby, you know what I mean? Like
The town tabby. Where are you
town
from?
I'm from West Virginia.
Yeah, god damn it. Let
So
the record
don't
show.
be rude.
Okay, no. Did you know orange tabbies are almost exclusively male cats? So
Is
a
that?
red
Oh my
flag.
god! It is an
You're
orange.
right.
It's an
This
orange
isn't a
flag.
joke. We can call it an orange flag, but the
It's
problem
an
is they're all men.
orange
That's why we don't
flag.
like them.
I don't know how to punch that up.
No, we can punch it up.
Can we punch that up?
Sure. Yeah, you know, the orange stripe and the pride flag, that's just an evil white orange cat man? No, bad punch up.
I feel like the
Put it in
fact
the
that you
ChatGPT.
related it to men. Put it in the ChatGPT. We will. I feel like the fact that you related it to men made that funny. Is like you're like, did you know that orange cats are almost all men? I'd call that an orange flag.
Bada bing.
Bada bada bum,
You guys
bada
know,
boom.
you gotta be like, you guys know how orange cats are rambunctious, won't stop fucking the females, cannot
Right,
be
you like
tamed.
live.
Actually, a nightmare, you should not get that cat. You want to know why? All men. All male. Red flag. Talk about
Orange flag.
Good job. We did it.
Cute.
Did you guys
that was
love
really
it?
good.
Take it to stage, someone.
I love. Yeah, I was gonna say, but have at people. That was cute. Good job.
Thank you. What? Still recording? You're welcome. He's pushing his screen.
Still recording. No. I'm just
this
trying to look at.
This podcast is over. Thank you.
And that's the pod. No, we have a couple things.
Secret pod it.
What?
Go on.
What is it called? Punch Up. This is Punch Up.
Sure is. Punch Up.
Punch Up. This was fun. I'm gonna try to do it again. Thank you, Cara, for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me on.
Love you 5 ever. If I get my shit together this week, then you can actually catch both of us the entire week of the Colorado Queer Comedy Festival, which is October 3rd through 6th. We're going to be hosting together. Right. If you liked this little banter, wait till you find out that
we have espresso in us during this banter.
Wait till my Adderall is not worn off.
Wait till Ren's got his high-rise Converse on.
That's
Y'all
correct.
are in for a show.
I was gonna say we have a good time. So if you want to come to that is in Boulder, Colorado, Longmont, Colorado, and Fort Collins, Colorado.
Is it in Colorado?
It's in
What's the
Colorado.
name of this festival?
But interestingly, we have the New York Queer Comedy Festival that is actually coming in and doing the Sunday show in Longmont.
So there's a New York takeover for the Colorado Queer Comedy Festival.
That's correct.
Colorado Queer Comedy Festival.
.com.
Can you say that faster?
Colorado Queer Comedy Festival.com.
.com. .com.
Damn it. Wait, can we do it? 1, 2, 3. .com. You just left me. You hate me.
Okay. No. We have to say, you say Queer Comedy Festival and I'll sing .com. It'll be a dynamic ditto.
Dynamic ditto. All right, fine. This has been Punch Up. And I guess we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Peace out.
Bye.